welcome back to another episode of NFT Artist Spotlight, hosted by AstroZero. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.
Tonight on AstroZero Twitter Spaces, we have a couple guys here. They're creating an entire ecosystem with a gamified subscription service. It's going to have NFTs, metaverse capability, gaming, marketplace, the whole shebang. It's the Mulletverse. Welcome, guys. Thanks for taking some time out of your day and coming to talk to us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. We're really excited to speak with everyone today about the project and life.
Yeah, well, we talk about a little bit of everything here, but yeah, we can talk about life as well. Give me a brief overview of what your project is, so the community here could kind of understand it a little bit more, because it's a little bit more than just an NFT project you guys have going on.
Yeah, so I think we could start with our vision, which is to simplify Web3 and inspire the unification between creative pursuits and technological innovation. Right now, we've actually been pulling together a lot of research to create a pitch deck, and we found that 70% of the population knows and heard about digital assets, but only 3% actually own them. What's more like startling is 50% of that group is interested in acquiring them. So that's roughly 2.7 billion people. So the question is, why is there such a big gap there? And from our research, it's because there's a pretty steep technical barrier to entry into the space. So not everyone is technically proficient enough to navigate these new primitive environments. And we think that it's important to kind of develop a platform that's user-friendly and cost efficient for these guys, so they can enter the space with just like minimal technical knowledge.
So why is it
which is kind of where the idea for
I'm sorry. I was going to say, why do you think exactly that it's like this? Why do we have such a small percentage that know about something, participating in it? It's that is a huge gap. And how do you intend on bridging it in order to kind of get the word out and getting this thing mass adopted?
Well, right now we attribute the lack of adoption to just not having the technical proficiency. I mean, it's kind of something that, when you first discover crypto and NFTs, and especially the decentralized side of it all, there's so much that you need to learn and just acquire the proficiency to like navigate the space in a lot of different aspects. And if you're not, really, really into it, it's hard to just jump right in. So it's kind of been our life for a while. So we know the space and we know how to navigate it and do all the bridging to different chains and all these things that just the average person wouldn't know. And that's kind of the things that we want to bypass with our project, is allowing people to jump right in without having those skills already, or researching and learning those skills.
Yeah, so essentially they'll be able to buy a subscription plan and collect, if they get the premium plan, it'll be 100 NFTs throughout the course of a year. And those projects and creators will be vetted through our company. So they'll know that they'll be, that we source legitimate projects for them to collect, and they'll all have the chance to, appreciate and value over time. And you don't have to worry about getting, rug pulled and bridging. And it basically gets back to just minimizing their technical barrier to entry so they can start collecting and engaging in Web3.
And minimizing risk by vetting projects and artists who are launching.
So to get one of your subscriptions, or as you call it, it's NFT SP. In order to do that, somebody buys one of your Mullet Maxis, and that's how they acquire one of these?
That is correct. Technically right now, so the Mullet Maxi is for sale on OpenSea, and that is, it comes with a subscription, yes. So it's kind of like a pre-sale vehicle, but it has eventually the plan is to scale the platform to where you can kind of just sign up as a subscriber, as you would Spotify or Netflix or something along those lines, and then you're a part of the platform. So really, the amount of subscription plans that can be sold is relative to the amount of artists willing to launch through the platform. But the Mullet Maxi comes with additional benefits that don't that wouldn't come in just a typical like general plan once we are actually live. So it's a pre-sale vehicle right now.
Okay. What's the pre-sale price that you guys have them launching at?
It's 0.085 Ethereum, so it's roughly 270-ish. Yeah.
Okay.
The target price range was like 300, but yeah, it'll fluctuate with the price of ETH.
All right. So what are some of the other benefits that people are going to get other than just being on the platform? What else do they get when they purchase one of the maxis?
Yeah, so it's a passive generating income NFT. So it has a relationship with our token, which we plan to launch later this year. So Mullet Maxi holders will get 1% of all the daily traded transactions of Mullet coin. So say just a hypothetical that could be a relatively large amount. So if you look at like Shibcoin or Dogecoin, it's kind of like a meme coin culture, but those cryptocurrencies are consecutively reaching billions of dollars in daily traded volume. So say that Mullet coin reaches that level of success, anyone holding one of these Mullet Maxis could potentially be earning $1,000 a day or $365,000 a year by just holding it.
Assuming it would reach SHIB level. So there, we implement a tax fee sort of like similar to SafeMoon. And what that does is it burns there's a percentage that gets burned, and then there's a percentage that funds the liquidity pool, and then there's a percentage that goes, like the smallest percentage goes to the Mullet Maxi holders. So just kind of a little reward for holding it. But on top of that, there's some other stuff. So like the Mullet Maxi holders are going to kind of be our beta testers for new features that we plan to launch. So to make sure it's functioning properly, we're going to kind of allow them access to it and things like that. And yeah, and there's going to be it's kind of going to have a little bit of a social aspect. So we want to kind of give the Mullet Maxi holders sort of like governance over like content coming through the platform. So we want them to be able to vote on creators they want to see on the roster and things of that nature.
Do you guys have an ETA on when the token is going to launch?
The token is our secondary like priority at this current time. Right now, we're working on building our MVP, and that is slated to launch most likely by the end of March, probably closer to the beginning of April at this point, with how the development is going. And the token shouldn't be much longer after that, basically. So I would say by May.
All right. So once somebody goes and they purchase one of your maxis, is there? I know you said there's going to be like a governance value down the road. Now, is the governance value determined by just the sheer amount of maxis that they own, or is it rarity weighted? Is it?
Yeah. So the maxis, we actually didn't assign rarities to them because it's more about the utility instead of the art and the NFT itself. Even though thankfully our artist Tim came through and we think that he did a really great job, but it's more important the utility aspect behind it and the governance. For every Mullet Maxi you hold, you'll get the equivalent of one vote. So they'll all be equal. So if you own more Mullet Maxis, you'll have more governance potential.
Is there a total amount that you're going to be releasing? Is it a finite amount? Have you decided on what the total amount of mullets are going to be?
There's a max supply of 10,000, but we're going to kind of be rolling them out in stages over the course of as the platform scales. So right now we have 500 available, and we're going to kind of keep it at that until maybe until we're ready to release more once they start selling, and because we're going to do it at a staggered price point. So right now it's around 270-ish. Later down the line, it'll be 500.
Yeah, so as our platform continues to grow and we reach a larger demand, we'll probably scale up operations and the price.
What are you guys doing as far as like getting the word out? How are you going about doing the marketing process of this? How are you letting people know about?
Yeah, so this kind of gets into like bridging that gap. We focused a lot of our marketing efforts outside of the space because we're trying to onboard new users, and we think that there's a lot of potential there. And after participating in the spaces, like there's a really strong community here, but there's also a really strong need for more collectors and more buyers. So initially we started doing spaces and participating in the spaces, but over the past several months, we've kind of been focusing our efforts outwards to try to bring in that audience that wants to get into NFTs but just doesn't really know how. So, like for example, on our website, we're working on developing a way for people to buy the Mullet Maxi with a credit card. So they essentially won't even have to know anything about crypto, and they can purchase a Mullet Maxi easily. Which is it's been difficult, but we do have a solution offering for that, and that will be coming soon.
So would you have to use something like MoonPay or something like that in order to through some sort of credit card option? Because I know crypto and credit cards usually don't mix too well.
Yeah, that's actually I don't want to say loophole, but basically the loophole that we're kind of using is we're just treating it as a standard e-commerce product instead of as an NFT. So for this specific solution, for the people who want the least amount of friction, what they can do is we had it set up, and then kind of we were using Square, and Square doesn't allow for the sale of subscription plans on their platform, apparently. Yeah. So we had to take it down. But what we're setting up a new bank account with this crypto-friendly bank, and it's under, it's being processed right now. But once it's live, then we'll put it back up on our site to where people can just go on there, select their, quantity of Mullet Maxis they want to buy, put in their credit card, and then their MetaMask address. So the only thing they'll have to do is create a MetaMask. They put in their card, and then we just will send them the Mullet Maxi, as opposed to them buying on OpenSea and doing the atomic match.
I guess they could kind of. Well, no, I guess you wouldn't have that issue. I was going to say, I guess that's a good way to circumvent like gas prices, but you're on Polygon, so you don't really have to worry about that. So we'll just take that thought and we'll throw it in the garbage that I just had.
Yeah, Polygon's the solution right now for circumventing gas prices. We actually launched on Polygon because it just seems like the best solution. We're honestly surprised that the Polygon NFT ecosystem, I mean, it's been growing, but it's not at a place where I think it should be. I think it could be a lot bigger.
I think it will be a lot bigger. I think Solana's starting to take off, and it's only a matter of time before these layer 2s start gaining more attention because of specifically the gas prices. So Ethereum NFTs, if you want to buy a $20, $30 NFT, it could cost you upwards of $150 to $200 for that transaction. So it's just more economically feasible for collectors to use layer 2s.
I would also say, with regards to our buy with the card on the site, and you were saying about it's a good way to bypass gas fees. You are right in a way, because by allowing this type of transaction, it makes it so the user doesn't have to ever even interact with Ethereum mainnet, so they don't have to bridge. On most exchanges, they don't support, direct withdrawals to the Matic network. So I know FTX does and Crypto.com does, which is great, and some others do as well. But Coinbase doesn't, and Kraken doesn't, and those are kind of probably the biggest ones in the States. Actually, I think FTX is bigger than Kraken, but by allowing this solution where people can just pay on the website with their card, they never have to interact with bridging and stuff, and they'll be directly on the Matic network right away without even having to create a Coinbase account and buying crypto. I mean, they'll discover that they have to do that eventually, but for the sake of minimizing friction at the beginning.
Yeah, you're the second project that I've seen that's kind of trying to implement credit card payments into their NFT projects, which, I mean, it's going to have to happen eventually if we're going to want this to be completely mass adopted. It's just, it's an easier bridge for people that really have no idea what a MetaMask is, what a seed phrase is. Because I was thinking too, if we're going to get this thing mass adopted, people might be able to create a MetaMask, but do you know how many people are going to forget their seed phrases? Because they're not going to realize, I need to remember this seed phrase, and then they lose their shit anyway. So, I mean, talking about that, you guys are going to start putting a learn-to-earn type of platform into your entire project. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So, going off our value proposition, it's basically exactly what we talked about. Is just captivating that unattainable audience by introducing learn to earn. So once we have them engaging with our platform, we want to provide content for them to learn how to navigate these ecosystems on their own until they don't have to learn, until it evolves to that point. So we want to provide them with a way to essentially be self-sustainable and know about which projects are good and which blockchains they like. It's all about facilitating that mass adoption. Is once we have those users, give them the opportunity to learn more about these ecosystems and how they work,
which will then allow them to branch out to other platforms and chains and kind of just go free into the decentralized web.
Yeah. Is it going to be kind of set up I know a lot of people are familiar with Coinbase. Coinbase, when you first sign up for an account, they have watch these videos of Cosmos and learn about Cosmos. Watch these videos about stellar lumens and learn about XLM. Or is it going to be an actual course curriculum that you guys have, and then you go and you do a quiz at the end so people actually kind of interact with it? Do you have a way how you're going to map out the learn to earn part?
So at this point in time, it's kind of a combination of sort of all the above. I mean, Coinbase's learn to earn features are a little unexciting to me, and I'm sure a lot of people as well. So kind of what we want to do is make it so we have these sort of daily objectives of a point of education that can be, one thing a day, or every time you log into the platform, there's an objective you can do whether it's a quiz, or we also want to have kind of interactive sort of educational events. So, for example, being on a live stream with a crypto lawyer or things of that nature, listening in and then answering questions on their account related to the educational topics that were discussed. So kind of building a community where people are interested in kind of learning and growing together in the space.
I think one thing that would interest a lot of people nowadays, especially this time of year, is if we could get somebody somewhere to even do a little video to explain taxes to people a little bit better. Because, on a daily basis, I have so many people messaging me and freaking out about, how they're going to file their taxes correctly. And I think that's the thing that people worry about, too, as far as, getting into that, especially when you hear things like short-term gains are 40%.
Yeah, we're actually working on building the infrastructure for what we think is going to happen with taxes and crypto. So we're basically creating segmented financial metrics, so you could see you'd have your portfolio once you connected your wallet, and you'd see how much you earn from crypto, and then play to earn, yield farming, and different categories, because we think that all these different things are going to be taxed differently. So like play to earn is going to be taxed differently than your cryptocurrency earnings, because you're playing a game essentially.
Yeah, for example, play to earn would be an example of earned income on a tax filing, whereas renting your digital land would be rental income, or staking rewards would be interest, and those are all have different classifications.
Yeah, and this is kind of off topic, but I'd like to also mention that the subscription plan and the way that our platform is structured is also designed heavily to benefit the community and the artists as well. So ideally, we'd like our platform to function as a community launchpad. So we're working on building our audience, and when creators launch through our platform, they essentially can find their own audience and go on to release their own collections and have buyers lined up to get their products.
How do you intend on doing stuff like that? Like,
Yeah, so
sales or whatever the case might be for the people. How could you really kind of convince somebody that it's the right place to go?
I'm sorry, I might have, you kind of like cut out for me for a second. Can you just repeat the question?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, what are you guys gonna do to try to get people as far as like becoming subscribers and putting the belief into them, like you're the way to go?
Well, I would say that with the features that we want to implement on the platform, that it'll be a more engaging experience as opposed to OpenSea or just a standard marketplace, because we're doing things that make it fun. So it's kind of like this collecting game, and by having the support of the Polygon community, which is where we're starting, and which is our favorite, it brings the artists bring the value to the platform, right? So by having our fellow Polygon community members launching on the platform, every like subscribers can be more confident that they're not buying something that's a counterfeit NFT or a project that's just overhyped or unvetted. So it brings credibility.
It brings credibility to the project. And as we're bringing in like a larger audience of collectors, so we are planning to launch our MVP, I think early April, and that'll open a lot of doors. I mentioned earlier we're putting together our pitch deck, so we are seeking VC funding, and we do have a few potential options thanks to our networking. So to get the buyers interested, we're going the VC route. And as for the collectors and the creators, we're implementing what we call collector challenges. So even if you launch your collection through our platform and it doesn't see like a lot of popularity within the buyers, we can kind of artificially bring demand to those products by incorporating them into our collector objectives. So that, for one, is going to boost secondary sales, which will boost royalties for the creators, and to help them, the art that's not as popular, potentially find their niche audience.
So once somebody goes and they purchase one of these subscriptions, the subscription is for 1 year in length. Is that right? Is that how you guys are doing it? 1 year, and then they would have to renew?
Yes, so it's going to start with a 1 year subscription, but as we continue to grow and scale, we are looking to offer a monthly based subscription just for the first year to grow our content and creator roster. We want to basically do the annual subscription because it'll give us time to build our content.
So yes, the once on the launch date of the NFT SP will be kind of, day one for the Mullet Maxis. We'll probably implement a thing that extends it out a little bit longer for the Mullet Maxi holders. But really, we need to kind of offer it as a subscription-based service, because we're going to need to be constantly onboarding and paying new artists to launch through the NFT SP. So that's kind of how it's going to work, is from the subscription revenue, artists are paid upfront. So it's almost like, I would say, kind of wholesale dealings.
Okay, so when, like, let's say somebody goes and they purchase a subscription, if I bought one today, right? So
Yeah.
I would have till February 16th of 2023. Are you going to send me a reminder, like, that month that my subscription is going to need to become renewed if I want to continue with the platform? Or is it going to be something that's kind of bound to my NFT where I have a timer and it lets me know? Or how's that going to work? And then also, if somebody goes past the deadline of their subscription, do they lose that specific maxi in their wallet?
No, so the Mullet Maxi, as one of the benefits offered, it's just a free year from the subscription plan. So there's other benefits that the Mullet Maxi, all the other benefits are for life. I mean, except the Mullet Coin airdrop once Mullet Coin gets launched. So the Mullet Maxi is a pre-sale vehicle for Mullet Coin, and it's also the pre-sale vehicle for the NFT SP. So once that first year runs out, the Mullet Maxi holder will still have to renew, but they still with
additional benefits.
Yeah, they keep the benefits associated with the Mullet Maxi. Besides that.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and actually, I think one important thing is, I know we talked about how Polygon has kind of been our day one chain, and we love Polygon for multiple reasons. So what we did kind of do to encourage creators to sign up for our creator roster is the creators that get accepted, and we like Polygon creators, so anyone that chats with us has a really good chance of being accepted. They'll get a Mullet Maxi, so they can essentially participate in the subscription plan as well as launch their content through the platform. I just thought that was one cool benefit that is worth mentioning for anyone here that's interested.
So when somebody goes and they purchase a subscription, is everything from that point until the following year included as far as anything that they could use on your entire platform, or are there additional fees to do other things? If they sell an NFT, does it cost them anything, or is everything kind of just waived and then you kind of you're going to use your token as currency? I'm trying to figure out how you're kind of looping everything together.
Yeah, so we'll actually have a marketplace where they can buy, sell, and trade NFTs, and that'll kind of help essentially. So you mean, like, what's it going to cost for them to buy and sell NFTs once they collect them, or?
Yeah, like if somebody has their artwork up there and they sell their artwork, is there going to be commission that goes back into your platform with it, or is
it
already tied into their initial subscription price?
So kind of how it's going to work is the baseline of the application, which is also going to be the MVP we're releasing here soon, is just going to be a standard NFT marketplace, but with some additional features that we haven't seen yet being implemented. And then that's kind of the MVP baseline. And then on top of that, we're going to build the subscription part, which is the part that is readily accessible to the user who doesn't have the technical proficiency. So as soon as they sign up for the subscription, they'll be able to redeem NFTs. So that's how it's going to work. They won't be, if they're subscribed, they won't be buying them. They basically already pre-bought them, and then we prepaid the artist to launch them through the NFT SP. But there'll also be just the option to view all NFTs and trade as you would normally.
Okay.
And I was just going to say that's actually how we plan to boost secondary market sales for creators. So what we want to do is, launch the NFT SP content to the subscribers, and then through that, or any user on the platform is going to have a collector score. But if you're a subscriber, you're at a significant advantage, because all the SP NFT SP content is going to be implemented in our collector challenges. So the subscribers will be collecting NFTs, and they're going to want to collect the ones that, A, they just like and they really want to have, or B, fulfills a collector challenge, which that could be something like collect one of every color from Elon One's collection, or a certain combination of attributes or creators together. We can really come up with any kind of challenges to fulfill, which will then boost the creators or the collector's score.
Yeah. So, and then the way that it'll work is when creators launch through our platform, the royalties will be set where 5% gets distributed back to the creator, 3% goes to the collectors, and that'll be distributed based on
their
collector scores and which collector objectives they meet. And then 2% goes to our artist grant fund, which will be sourcing artists from outside of the space and giving them a team to create NFTs. So just bringing in new artists that are interested in kind of entering this environment.
So much going on. I'm trying to like wrap my head around everything.
Yeah. The scope of the project is it's really large, and if you guys didn't pick up or have more questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have a pretty thorough white paper, so if you are interested in learning more, you could also go to our website and check out our white paper. The scope of the project is it's large, and it is definitely hard to wrap your head around. But I think once you get an idea of what we're trying to do here, it truly has the potential to be amazing. It's different than anything else we've currently seen in the space so far. So, and we truly want everyone to be a part of it. So, thanks for having us up here and giving us the chance to kind of reach a new audience. Elon, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. When does the official launch happen? I know you guys are doing like the pre-sale of the maxis. Do you have an official date when everything's gonna go 100% live?
It's in a constant state of development. Obviously, it's a lot of things to build. Right now, we're basically strictly sort of focusing on getting our MVP out, which is going to come out early April, most likely. We're working with this company called the X Team, which is actually the company that I work for. And what they do specifically is they source basically software engineers and computer programmers and developers for they do it for some pretty big companies like Coinbase and a whole bunch, honestly. But so we're a client of theirs now, and we are sourcing our development talent from there.
Yeah, they've been wonderful to work with. So it is pretty expensive, but if you are looking for development, I would highly recommend looking into the X Team. But yeah, so our MVP, we're planning on bringing that out early April. It's looking like that's
that's in the cards, and it'll be a rolling out of different features as they become finalized. So for now, the MVP is early April, and then the next thing on the roadmap is the token, and then after that, we're kind of building up the SP part of it. So the initial MVP will function as
a part of the project as a whole.
Yeah.
Now, I was going through your roadmap on your website, and it said something about Immutable X. Are you still going with them, or are you going to do everything Polygon-based?
Well, we would consider ourselves chain agnostic, and there's a few solutions that blockchain layer 2s and different blockchains that we want to implement on the platform. First, we're working on Polygon, but then we also want to add Immutable X and Binance Smart Chain as well to kind of start bringing in some of that audience, because we have some connections there as well.
Yeah, and we also think in the future that these everyone's being siloed into these certain chains. We don't think that that is necessarily going to exist as the technology continues to progress. We actually think it'll get to a point where you'll just be dealing with the front end and you won't even know which chain uh, the website or company is working with.
How about for your token that you're going to be launching? Have you decided what you're going to launch it on? Is it going to be a Binance coin? Is it going to be an ERC20?
Yeah, we're going to launch it on Polygon, so that's the plan, because it is our favorite.
Yeah, the token actually is a pretty unique part of our project, and I think we created a basically a solution to. There's a lot of junk coins out there, and we kind of created a solution to how to fix that. So if you guys have bought cryptocurrency or follow new tokens, you usually see like a recurring pattern of it starts out and there's the hype wave, and the price shoots up and then it just drops within the next week or 2 weeks down to basically zero again. And the way that we structured our token, it basically solves that issue.
Am I wrong?
Oh,
You're still here.
Okay, I was going to say that.
Yeah. So
are you going to be able to use the token, the Mullet coins that you guys are launching? I would be able to buy those with Matic if I wanted, right? And I would be able to use QuickSwap and purchase these. And I don't necessarily have to have a subscription or anything like that. I could just trade this freely if I wanted to.
yeah.
Okay. Now, are you also going to have it as kind of like some sort of currency within the ecosystem? Is this is going to be the same token that you're going to earn through your Learn to Earn programs as well?
Yes, and I guess getting back to the problem with other tokens, if you look at their models, you see that they have like 25% allotted to marketing, 25% allotted to development, 25% to early investors, 5% airdrop, and that's why we think that you see this uh, immediate fall off of the majority of these tokens, is because as soon as the price pumps, they sell off 90% of their token. And because we plan to fund our token with external revenue, we don't see that happening.
Yeah, so all of our developments are funded through the revenue generating part of the business, which is selling the subscription plans, right? So we don't need to use our Mullet coin to fund business operations, which we think is kind of one of the main flaws in a lot of different tokenomics.
Talking to the guys from Mulletverse today, coming up with an entire ecosystem. They're going to have marketplaces. They're going to have native token. Are you guys doing staking or anything like that? Is that going to be involved?
We are not planning on doing that, and for one of the reasons is regulations and the SEC. So we kind of have this whole ecosystem sort of planned out, but we won't be offering staking and staking rewards because, apparently that's a security, right? So
yeah, we want to try to do everything within the law and follow regulation as close as we can. So we read up on the SEC guidelines, and if you do provide staking, you have to be registered with the SEC, which is something we do see ourselves doing in the future. So we could potentially offer staking, but it would just depend on that process.
We had a kind of a different sort of idea for staking as opposed to staking for more Mullet coins. We might offer staking for different collector type objectives. So say you buy Mullet coin and it says like stake X amount of Mullet coin to receive a score multiplier or things like that. So there's different things we might do with staking, but it won't be an interest bearing staking mechanism.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as it doesn't have a monetary value associated with it, I think you should be okay as far as that goes. Because, but I'm don't quote me on any of that stuff. But working that kind of.
It's a sticky space.
Yeah, I mean, the way the SEC has it written, even a gym membership could be considered a security. So it's fairly broad.
So I was reading somewhere on your website that it said that a percentage of your sales from the subscription are going to be used as buybacks in your coin as well. That's going to be coupled with the fact that it's going to be deflationary, so that's kind of one of the mechanisms that you're going to use in order to keep.
Yeah, and that's kind of part of that whole solution is instead of like selling off 90% of our token, we plan to buy back the token and store it in the vault so it's there for people to participate and learn to earn.
Yeah, that's kind of one of our solutions to the tokenomics issue of there's a few things. There's funding development with your token, but there's also excessive rewards. So essentially, the plan is to use the revenue from the business to buy back Mullet coin to give as rewards. So the rewards that we're giving aren't even necessarily free from us. We didn't just create the token and give it out to everyone as a reward. We actually have to buy the token back to give it as a reward. So that is kind of our way of sort of trying to stabilize the price
and apply continuous buying pressure.
So how's the onboarding going so far? Have you guys got a good amount of artists to kind of team up with you guys for when you're getting ready to get the launchpad and everything ready to go?
Yeah, we still haven't hit our target yet. Our target is 200, but we have done pretty well outside of the space. We would like to see more artists sign up in the space, and I think
and we have some, and they're awesome. We talk to them regularly.
Yeah, I think Coin, is he in here?
Yeah.
What's up, Coin? Shout out to everyone. Soma.
If any of you guys want to come up, raise your hand. I'll bring you up in the box. Don't be shy, Polygon people. Let's see, where was I here? Have you talked to anybody? Are you going to do like any type of giveaways or collaborations with some of these other artists to kind of maybe build a Discord channel up or?
Yeah, so we work closely with Lucid Minds. I don't think they're in here today, but hopefully that's a familiar name to all of you. They're pretty incredible. And we also work with Creative Owls, kind of more behind the scenes, but we have a good relationship with him. And basically, he said that we'd be allowed to, once we start kind of bringing in more buyers and our platform grows, that we could host events in his space. So I'd say those are our two big partners with creators right now in this space that go past just, releasing a collection on our platform.
So how many people are in your team that you have working on this project? Because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of wheels in motion here.
Yeah, the team is kind of constantly growing. We have about 12 people right now across a lot of different, sectors and kind of focusing on different things. And then we also have our contracted workers, our developers from the X team. So the core team has 12 people on it, and then there's some auxiliary characters, including also 20 artists who've signed up, roughly.
All right. So, tell me some stuff that I missed because, like, there's some. You have the floor because there's like so much stuff that I was trying to cover and I just don't know where to go next. So if I have missed something, please tell people something about your project that I may not have covered thus far.
Well, I think we kind of covered a lot, but I would say the easiest way to think about this project is kind of your one-stop shop for just getting right in frictionlessly, having the visibility to see the income that you've earned from being in the space, or jumping right in and collecting NFTs. So what we're trying to do is it's going to function as a way like not normal, but people who are already in crypto and in NFTs and they know how to navigate the space. they'll be able to jump right into just the marketplace and things like that right off the bat. But really our main goal is to kind of increase accessibility. That's the thing that we're always working towards.
Are you trying to like target people maybe at art galleries or people on college campuses, maybe people looking for some sort of, I don't know, additional that they could have? Or are you like going out in public and try to like guerrilla market some of these places, like local campuses or anything like that?
Yeah, so we actually we live on campus, on a college campus, so it's perfect for us to source talent, and we do have artists that are kind of in school right now that are going to be launching through our platform. So it's kind of been a great spot to bring in new creators to the space.
Yeah, we have probably the majority of our people who've signed up for our creator application or our artist roster are just people from our local community in Athens, Ohio, because we have, my former job was I worked at the art gallery in town, so I have connections within the art community here as well already. And there's the university, so we have a large pool of talent just around us, and people like supporting something that could be big from the place that they love. So it's kind of fun to just network through our local community as well as the Polygon community. But in our local community, we have a reputation and we have credibility. The hard part is translating that online on Twitter and stuff, because you're hiding behind a mullet planet head and you could be anybody out there.
Yeah, that's one of our goals, just to be completely transparent, and I believe you could see that, with our website and our white paper. Like, everything that we're doing is laid out clear and concise, so you wouldn't be looking at a looks rare type scandal, if anyone has followed that at all. Yeah, it's just, I guess we want to be completely transparent with creators and Polygon and collectors, and I feel like we have done a good job with that on our website and our documentation. So if you guys are interested in reaching out and working with us, please feel free to contact us, and we can set up a meeting.
I think. All right, I'm on. I keep thinking I'm getting rugged because my microphone thing keeps freezing up on me for some reason. I know everything's not completely ironed out with the mullet coin, but when I was reading about it, it says that you're going to have a 6% tax on buys and sells. Is that also on swaps as well if you trade from wallet to wallet?
No, not on transfers. I think that's a little excessive.
I am completely rugged.
I think we lost him. Hello?
I keep freezing up. Jeez.
Well,
I'm back.
We can hear you.
Thank you. Jack Dorsey, I'm gonna get you. So what's been the most difficult part of creating the Mulletverse? Like what's like the biggest hiccup that you guys have hit so far that maybe you could share with us and it'll help somebody overcome it?
Yeah, I would say just knowing your target audience or target audiences. Like when we first started with the Polygon community, we kind of had this preconceived notion that it would be mainly collectors. We didn't know that it would be such a strong community of creators. So we had to kind of adjust our mindset and learn how to kind of become part of the community instead of it's a whole different relationship. When you're talking to, say, collectors and buyers, you're not working on building relationships like you would within the community. So once we kind of figured out that Polygon is more about the community and that our collectors are kind of outside of the space right now, it allowed us to grow substantially and work better within the space.
So kind of to piggyback off that, when we're on Twitter and mostly just Twitter, we're working to kind of network with the creators and build credibility and just make friends and kind of provide them this platform to launch their content through, to gain more exposure from the other target audience, which is essentially people who are looking to get into the NFT space and just haven't done it yet, and they haven't learned how to navigate the blockchains and things like that. So sort of just building credibility is kind of one of the biggest obstacles, but it's just with consistency comes, I'd say.
Oh,
Well, I guess I'll just say I pinned our community initiative up at the top. It kind of gives a more detailed breakdown of how we plan to conduct the NFT SP from the creator perspective. So if anyone was interested in reading that, that's just our Medium article there, highlighting our community initiative. And then we also have our creator roster application pinned as well. So anyone interested in launching through the platform, definitely go sign up. Elon, you there?
hello, Elon. Well, yeah. How's everyone doing today? Let's see who's speaking.
I got rugged, and it's really difficult when you get rugged because you don't know if your mic is on, and I don't know if I can shout curse words at that time. So I kind of just sit here in silence while my dog is staring at me. So I want to apologize for getting rugged on you guys there. I heard you talking.
That's okay. And actually, I think it'd be cool to just take a poll. So if you're creators on the space right now, could you just throw a thumbs up for us?
Do they even have thumbs up?
Or a peace sign?
Is everybody rugged? I didn't see any peace signs.
Okay, people are, probably doing other things, just listening. We should have actually created a
poll.
Oh,
we got a peace sign there.
There we go.
Klein, yeah. Any other creators want to throw up a peace sign? All right. What about collectors? If you're a collector, could you throw up a rock?
A rock? A fist?
A fist?
Fine Laundry, do you have anything for the guys?
Not, to be honest, not really. I'm at work, but I missed the first 20 minutes, so I'm gonna have to go back and listen again. I'm just really excited to hear that the project's moving forward. I've been all in since I heard about it. Jake and I met in Spatial, and yeah, I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the support and joining the roster. We love hanging out and talking with you, and we're excited about your project too.
Yeah, we should definitely chat soon. It's been a while. I'd like to see the progress you've made. I know we talked about some of your ideas.
For sure.
And actually, since you're up here, feel free to give everyone an update.
Well, I finished minting the first half of my collection. I'm going to take a little 2-week break and then start grinding again. I'm going to do a little interim collection, drop the second half of the collection, and then it's to the moon from there, right?
Absolutely.
We're on board. We got a couple laundry machines, so we're ready to rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the thing I'm most excited about is the fact that you guys are really, going really hard on getting education out there. And, I think that's our biggest difficulty that we have with anything crypto or non-bank related. Everybody is they don't know where to start. I know when I first got into crypto and really started kind of understanding it, I was worried about creating a wallet at first. Like little things like that could cause a lot of fear in people, and we need to kind of like destigmatize it, because everywhere you look on the news, they always talk like negative about crypto.
Yeah.
It's a drug buying gateway. It's a way that cartels are funneling money in, and doing human trafficking, and like there's none of the good stuff is ever talked about.
Yeah, and if you think about it, with blockchain technology, like everything is tracked, on a digital ledger. So it just seems counterproductive to use the blockchain for any kind of nefarious activity, because all the transactions can be they're all tracked.
It's very transparent. And also, I remember like when I was first taking the jump into the decentralized side of crypto, and there was a lot to learn. It's pretty easy kind of just getting on Coinbase and buying some Ethereum and just letting it appreciate. But, using Uniswap for the first time, or one of these DEXs, or bridging to a new chain. Luckily, I had a friend who kind of taught me how to navigate it all. And that's kind of how we've grown our team as well. A lot of the people who are on our team weren't involved in the space prior to joining the team, and we just kind of helped them through the learning process of how it all works and the fundamentals of it. We got a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Chief.
Yeah, I mean, it's not technically about the project. Well, kind of. You asked the question about what if they were planning on staking. I've done a lot of research and I'm super confused. I know he said he wasn't doing staking, but what exactly is that?
What is staking?
Yeah.
So it's essentially when you take tokens from a project, or any project that offers staking, and you essentially just lock up that liquidity, so it's outside of the liquidity pool. And kind of the purpose of it is to sort of create a price stabilization mechanism by allowing people to lock up their tokens, so they're not selling, and then they're earning tokens for doing so.
Yeah, so you get a higher reward for staking your tokens. So like you can stake with Ethereum, and it's locked up until they launch ETH 2.0, but you're earning larger rewards. Oh yeah,
it's essentially kind of like a crypto savings account where you put your tokens in and you earn interest on them. That's what staking is.
Unfortunately, the way that
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
the way ETH 2.0 is going, you won't get those coins until like 2060.
Yeah,
that's okay. Just let it grow. Ethereum's not going anywhere, I don't think.
Coin?
What's a coin?
Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, this might be a little existential, but Elon or Dave mentioned that the stigma behind crypto at the moment, and kind of the basic worldview at the moment surrounding crypto. Do you think that's kind of manufactured? Because if we move to a decentralized system, then it like screws a lot of the big guys, big players, right?
Yeah, I think that's actually what they're fighting for right now. They're fighting between centralized and decentralized finance within blockchain, and the blockchain has the capability to essentially put the big central banks out of business. So we don't see that happening very easily. And as for you saying that it's manufactured, I think yes. I think that they do sponsor. I think crypto gets a lot of negative publicity because of the threat that it has to kind of basically
bypass barriers that has been in place by the centralized system.
Yeah, it gives power to the people, and you control your own money. And I think that's something that the central banks aren't too fond of.
Yeah, the thing that's really just kind of so simple but so groundbreaking is the idea of self-custody, right? The only way you could self-custody your own dollars is just to get cash, or hold it in a stable coin in your MetaMask. So the money that you have in the bank is kind of just like it's the number that is, allotted to you, but it's owned by the bank. The bank holds it, and they have certain rules that say that they can lend it out and at certain ratios and things like that are constantly changing. But the fact is, if everyone went to the bank and tried to withdraw their money, they wouldn't be able to. But with crypto, it's all self-custody, so you get to hold it yourself. If you're using a Web3 wallet or something besides a centralized exchange.
Unfortunately, the stigma really comes down to that the banks are more crooked than the whole DeFi space put together. They just kind of control everything, and it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. Yes.
It's almost like all the critiques that they have against crypto are just applicable to the banks, like all the money laundering and funding, nefarious activities. It's kind of like that's just what the banks are doing on a daily basis, but the blame gets put on cryptocurrency and the decentralized Web3 environment.
I'm glad you went there because throughout my research for my project, that's kind of the common theme that I've found. It all ends at the bank.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. But if you are creative enough, you can find solutions.
So we're heading towards the top of the hour. If anybody has any more questions for the Mulletverse guys, feel free to raise your hand. Come on up. Shout out if you'd like. If there's anything that you feel like I missed, guys, feel free to add it. But where do you see Mulletverse this time next year?
Where do you see it, Jake?
Well, I see us having a platform and a much larger audience. I see us having a lot of the Polygon creators on our roster, as well as creators outside of the space, and basically providing a product and a service that this space has never seen before. Something innovative, something new.
Something with product market fit, something that people can jump right in and be ready to use. In a year, I would say it'll be the full-fledged Mulletverse.
Yeah, and it'll continue growing. We have a really good team, a lot of innovative minds and creative minds. So we're constantly working on how we can make our project better and more accessible to a wider audience. And I think that's what's going to contribute to our success in the future, is just being able to come up with solutions to simplify Web3, to bring in that new audience, to bring in those buyers, those collectors. I think that's what will separate us from the majority of other large projects trying to do similar things.
Yeah, and not only that, just one more little tidbit about the Mulletverse. The inspiration came from, well, Jake got a mullet, and that was kind of the start. He was like, can we create a mullet coin? And then, sort of just spiraled into the brainstorming and what does the space need and all this. But it was also strategic because we've discovered, based on our, data research, that the mullet was the most popular hairstyle of the past 2 years, basically. And the Google Trends shows that the search results, worldwide searches for mullet are up 544% over the past 5 years. So yeah, we're kind of trying to capitalize on that, search engine optimization. People look up mullet, they see the Mulletverse. What is this?
Yeah,
or they look up NFT.
Not everyone can have a Shiba Inu, but practically anyone can have a mullet. So we think it's a lot more relatable to the end user.
Yeah, when all else fails, #mullet, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, I want to thank you for coming out and sharing about your project with the community here. Thanks for giving us a little bit over an hour of your time.
Yeah.
If pre-sale's going on in OpenSea, you guys could go right through the Mulletverse profile there, and it'll bring you over there so you could set up your subscription. They're also looking for some artists to add to their roster, so check the pin tweet that they have on their page, and you could follow the steps there in order to be a part of their platform.
Yeah, Dave, thank you for having us. We really appreciate you taking your time to speak with us. And to anyone that's listening, thank you to the Polygon community and all the creators out there that have engaged with us in our project. We greatly appreciate it, and we see your talent and how much your projects have improved over the past several months, and we're truly impressed. So
yeah, there was a quote that someone from the Castle team said to us one time, and it's really kind of stuck. It's the rising tide raises all ships, and that's kind of what we aspire to be, intend to do, is kind of put the Polygon community on the spotlight. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you again, guys. For everybody in the audience, tomorrow we have Van Gothi. He's going to come on here and talk to us about his projects that he has. I'm looking forward to that. Mullets, I want to thank you guys once again. Can we call you guys the Mullets? Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mullets, the Mullets.
Mullet.
Anything with mullet we'll respond to.
Yeah, we'll take anything with mullet.
All right, sounds good. And remember, like, if you guys ever need any tweets or anything pumped out or retweeted, just shoot me a DM and I got you guys back. All right.
Yeah.
I want to
Dave, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Well, I hope you all have a good night. Thanks to the Mullet guys, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys.
Yeah.